Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the Critic who is a cynic. Hope you're doing well. And it has been quite a while since I have done a video, but I plan on doing actually a couple. As you can see, I've got a couple of tabs open up right now, and I do plan on doing a video on a couple of topics, releasing those today. But the first one I want to talk about is one that has a lot of the people in the Phantom Menace community, I think, kind of spinning misinformation, or at least making very clickbaity titles. And I just want to make it very clear that according to Deadline's article here, I mean, I'm obviously there's other sources that people might be using, but this is the one that they're all going back to. Don't get me wrong, Kathleen Kennedy has not been replaced. Kathleen Kennedy is still the president of Lucasfilm. That has not changed. We really don't know much else as far as who is replacing her or even when she's being replaced. The only person that we know of that is leaving anytime soon is Bob Iger, because Bob Iger has said that he will be done in 2021. Not much has really been said as far as what is going to happen with Kathleen Kennedy, as far as when, if and when she is going to step down. Eventually, of course, she's going to step down, but I just want to make that very clear. And so what has happened is that Lucasfilm has named someone as the new Senior Vice President of Live Action Development and Production, which makes a lot of sense, seeing that there were people that have recently left Lucasfilm whose shoes they needed to be able to fulfill. So therefore, all I see in this article, and I think too many people are looking way too into this, is that they are literally just filling in the shoes of someone who has left. Remember that Carrie Hart left not too long ago, and so these are basically, in my mind, people just being filled in positions that needed to be filled in the first place, and not, oh my gosh, Kathleen Kennedy is gone, and oh my gosh, this is the person that's going to be running Lucasfilm. What I instead see is I see someone that looks almost exactly like Kathleen Kennedy who's being given a position of power, and I'm really starting to wonder, really, honestly, is this really the direction that Star Wars wants to go in? Is this really what Disney wants to do? Where, and again, I for all I know, Michelle Rewan could be a very talented person. Let's see. What information can we find out about her? Let's Let's just screw it. We'll do it live. This has been a long time. Let's do it live. Let's see what actual experience does she have in this field. Everyone's, oh, she's been involved with Star Wars for a couple years now. Okay, but that doesn't really mean much, especially when you look at the current state of Star Wars. Okay, she's been a producer. Oh my gosh, so she's been basically producer on Super 8, associate producer, Star Trek, Star Wars. Okay, so really not that much experience as a producer. I mean, yes, she's been involved as producing since 2011, but it's all been in association with J.J. Abrams. So it sounds to me like she's a friend of J.J. Abrams. She has money, and that she's just basically been a friend of J.J. Abrams, is what it sounds like. Casting assistant. She was a casting assistant for The Office, and also Curb Your Enthusiasm, and also 40-Year-Old Virgin. Okay, so really, again, we have someone else, once again, being put into a major position of power, the Senior Vice President of, Live Action Development and Production. A major person being put in power, a major position being placed by someone who, in all essence, does not really have all that much experience. Oh, but she was involved in Star Wars The Force Awakens as a co-producer. Okay, so why then, how does that qualify her as being the best person for this job? Oh, wait, that's right, because she's a woman. Oh my gosh, so why are you saying that? Why do you keep whining and complaining? Why do you hate women? I don't. I just want people that are most qualified for the job, and I'm sorry, but if you're going to look at her credentials and honestly say that there are not other people, men and women, that are more qualified than her to have this position, you would be lying to yourself. Let's just be honest with ourselves for a second. But anyway, I just wanted to get this video out there to say very clearly, as it says here, Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy has named Michelle Rewan as Senior Vice President of Live Action Development and Production of Lucasfilm, again, a position that needed to be filled. Rewan is a producer on the upcoming Star Wars Rise of the Skywalker and was a co-producer of 2015's Force Awakens and a co-producer of Bad Robot, Star Trek Into Darkness. So again, you see the J.J. Abrams connection there. Rewan will oversee a new slate of feature films and episodic series for Lucasfilm and Disney Plus and continue to produce with Kennedy as Star Wars franchise is built out. Working with Michelle over the last 7 years as a producer on both Force Awakens and The Rise of Skywalker, I've seen firsthand her skills collaborating with writers and directors, and I've been incredibly impressed with her creative skills and her ability to manage complexity surrounding these massive projects, as Star Wars has been put down in the dumps. So you're putting someone who basically has been along with you on this ride of destroying Star Wars into an even to a bigger position of power, and it's someone who does not have really any experience whatsoever as far as like being a legitimate person to take over this position. Okay, good for you. Good for you, Kathleen Kennedy. But the important thing is to note how nowhere in here does it say anything about Michelle being the person that is set up and that is going to be set up to replace Kathleen Kennedy. I'm not saying that might happen eventually, but also notice here that there's really nothing specifically about Kathleen Kennedy leaving Lucasfilm either. So I mean, the year 2021, the only reason why that year even exists really at this point is because Bob Iger has said that he will step down at that time. We don't really have an official timeline for Kathleen Kennedy herself, because obviously there's a lot of things going on. And remember that she herself even says, oh, I've got this like 10-year plan going out ahead. So she thinks that she's going to be around for a while. There's some people who claim they have inside information that say otherwise, but again, show me a little bit more before I actually start buying into it. But I just want to make it very clear that this news article, and this person is not her replacement. She's not being set up as her replacement. She is filling in a position that had yet to be filled, and it just so happens to be another woman, because that is the current state of Star Wars. Anyway, guys, what else thoughts about this? Seriously, like, I mean, what information are you getting from? I mean, other than Cosmic Book News, which was the only other source that I saw that mentioned anything about it. But even then, it just doesn't really, it's just Kathleen Kennedy replaced at Lucasfilm for new Star Wars. No, Kathleen Kennedy was not replaced. That is a lie. Cosmic News, I love you guys. Matt McGloin, I always try and support you, but she was not replaced. That is not who she was. In the wake of the fate of Last Jedi and Solo, which apparently also see Rian Johnson's trilogy canceled, again, that has not been officially announced yet. Disney announces a replacement for Lucasfilm president. No, she is not a replacement. That has not been what has happened here. Kennedy, whose term at Lucasfilm expires in 2021, where's your source on that? The only person going in 2021 is Bob Iger. We assume Kennedy will follow, but we don't know that for sure. Actually named her replacement, no, she did not, who will now oversee the live action. That is not her replacement. Michelle Rowan is known for co-producing. What's interesting is everyone wasn't involved in either Last Jedi or Han Solo movies because, guess what? J.J. Abrams wasn't attached to it, and she's a friend of J.J. Abrams. The only reason why she was attached to those films is because she was probably really good friends and buddies with J.J. Abrams. Star Wars is a new decision maker at Disney. To be clear, Michelle Rowan... So halfway through the article, you get to the truth. To be clear, Michelle Rowan isn't taking the Lucasfilm president job from Kennedy, at least not yet. Rowan is replacing Kennedy as decision maker, as Deadline reports. Producer Michelle Rowan is the new Star Wars senior vice president of live action and production. But that's again, it's filling a spot. That's what it's doing. It's filling a spot. So guys, Cosmic News, you're normally a lot better than this, man. You're normally a lot better than this. So I have to call BS here. I have to call BS here. And there's been other YouTubers that have been running with this article saying, oh, look, she's been replaced, she's been replaced. It's important for us to always read not only what the article says, but also go to the sourcing of the article, because notice how everything, all of this information that was just put out there, none of that was actually mentioned here. All that was mentioned was that they named a new person as Senior Vice President of Live Action Development and Production at Lucasfilm. That's pretty much all that was done here, which was a job that needed to be filled because we had already lost Kiri Hart, and Kiri Hart needed to be replaced. I mean, let's what? I mean, I'm pretty sure that Kiri Hart, let's just be honest with ourselves. What was Kiri Hart before she left? Because this, I think, could really help us really figure out what was going on. She was Senior Vice President of Development. All right, so there were positions that needed to be refilled in that position. I mean, let's see, Lucasfilm leadership charts. What do we got? So, President, Executive Vice President, General Manager is her. Michelle Rowan. So if you actually even go to their website, you see that as far as the overall structure, you still have Kathleen Kennedy at the top as president of Lucasfilm. You have an executive vice president, general manager. So this would be the second person in charge. Then you would have executive vice president, physical production. Then you have a senior vice president, executive creative, and then live action development and production. So yes, she's been given a powerful position, and yes, she happens to be a woman, which again, no surprise there, but not a replacement. Not a replacement. Just want to make that very clear. Anyway, guys, what are y'all's thoughts about this? Love to know about all of your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. You're all amazing people. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.